Yeah, we can start with questions. Yep.
Go ahead. Devin out today. Amari not feeling well. What can you just tell us about that first?
Yeah, dealt with just our team battled a little illness. It's, kind of been making its way, right? We've been doing everything we can to help protect guys, and our performance team did an unbelievable job getting, as many guys ready today as we could. So, it's next man up. And I thought we had some guys really, the encouraging thing is I thought we had some guys really step up in battle. Hopefully none of this stuff is right long term, and we can get everybody back and have a practice and get ready for the next one.
I guess where you really needed a little extra help was scoring, and you just didn't really get it. Bruce had the big day. Kristoff got his 10, but you needed another guy to get 15 or something, right? I mean, what did you see how that wasn't able to happen?
Well, I think our free throws, we didn't shoot well enough from the free throw line, and we struggled from three. I thought we had some great looks, had some really good looks, and our guys work hard. We do player development all year long, and guys have been working hard in the gym to stay ready. And ball just didn't go in for us from the three-point line like we're capable of tonight. And those kind of empty possessions, eventually where I think were the difference in the game.
Coach, the fan base wants a win, big win, but you couldn't get the win today. Other than not being in the win column, what can you take from fighting it out with a Michigan State team tonight? Yeah,
I think the culture and foundation of our programs stood firm today. We battled with great toughness. We played together. We were connected, and we handled adversity for the most part really well. But the thing I told our guys, we coach in truth here, and the truth is we battled really hard. We played tough, and we played, we helped each other throughout the course of the game, but the truth is we also didn't execute at the level, at times in the second half that we did in the first half. So those are the things that we got to own and continue to improve on, but I'm proud of the way this team fought and battled and guys stepped up. Thank you.
Jake, Bruce had 32 of your 60, no turnovers in 40 minutes. He make his case today to be first team All Big Ten, and did you make your case to be an NCAA tournament team?
Listen, I think yes. Bruce is one of the best guards in the country, and the way he's guarded with the physicality, he could probably shoot 10 to 12 free throws a game. And he plays the game the right way. He doesn't try to trick anybody. He just plays with great poise. And I thought his toughness today, when we knew we were missing firepower offensively, certainly, and he rose and stepped up. So thought that was great. And against an elite defense, elite defensive guard, right, all of that stuff. And I think it says a lot about who he is, and I think our response as a team today says a lot about who we are. And certainly he leads the way for that. But this is a big time team, and we stepped up. We raised our level. We played tough and fought the whole game. I think it does say something about who we are. And we're fighting every literally hour to get back to full strength. And we're hopeful that's going to be the case soon. And I think that'll help us too down the stretch.
Jake, you mentioned about the job that Bruce did defensively in this game. I'm wondering about particularly on Fears in the first half, and then what maybe changed in the second half for you guys defensively? It looked like maybe Cooper and him and Fears kind of got a little bit more going there.
Yeah, really good player. And he's impactful on both sides of the ball, the usage rate, and I think what he does for them offensively, even when he's not scoring, is big time. So, they made some adjustments that I thought helped him get the ball into the paint better against our defensive scheme. And, when we tried to counter that, we just didn't execute as consistently as you need to against a really good player. And then, Cooper, was his efficiency was big time, and he stepped up for him in a big way. So those two guys, yeah, they were really good. I thought we, did a good job impacting Fear's ability offensively in the first half. But like good players do, they respond, and he certainly did that in the second half.
Coach here in the middle, wondering about the defense between the blocks for you guys, specifically on the forward play, especially with the injuries you guys have been battling. What did you think of your guys' forward play defensively today, especially in that first half against MSU? And what was that game plan like a little bit?
Yeah, great fight great fight. You know, they do a really good job catching the ball deep and close to the basket. And I thought in the first half we prevented that from happening. They got a couple deep touches there in the second half, a couple more. We were mixing up coverage against them, single coverage, double team, and you know, I think it's a battle. We got in some foul trouble, which, you know, impacted us. We had to go smaller a little bit. But I'm proud of the way our guys battled inside against, you know, we're a physical team. They're a physical team. And I thought the game, like there was good physicality, you know, on the interior from both sides.
Jake, what did it take as the second half was going on and they were getting to the glass the way that they were, and you're running out of bodies and you're talking about foul trouble? What did it take to try to combat that physicality and play the way that you were able to play with force in the first half?
Yeah, I think we knew, right, rebounding was going to be a huge key to the game. Thought we did a good job in the first half. Second half, there were a couple times where, you know, we had a good initial hit, but one of the things that they do really well is they keep moving. And we had a couple guys hit once and kind of stand and watch, and they made us pay for that. You know, that was a huge part of the game plan, and that's part of our execution in the second half, where it just wasn't at the level, you know, we needed it to be to get the win today. Pretty good for majority of the game, but, you know, like I can remember Scott had a big one, you know, kind of circling around the bat. Like those possessions, some kick out stuff where they got to the free throw line after, made a shot. You know, those when you're battling and like that stuff can be a dagger. So it's been an area of emphasis for us for some time. I think Devin's, you know, a really good rebounder, and certainly missed him out there today in that regard with the type of game that it was going to be. But, you know, I thought Tilly stepped up in a big way for us on the glass. It's something we've been challenging him with. And, you know, for him to have 8 defensive rebounds was really good. Tayson had a couple. Bruce had a couple. Colin, I thought, came in, battled on the glass. So, you know, there's some positives there for stretches of the game, but we got to execute that all the way through the clock.
And Devin obviously shot very well from 3 his last time out. The way that your shots weren't falling from the perimeter, but some of the strengths of his game, if you'd have had him today, what difference would that have made, you guys trying to get the ball inside and trying to score against the heart of their defense?
Well, it's been an element of our scoring, and, you know, we had some stretches there where we struggled to score the ball. You got to certainly credit Michigan State's defense. I don't want to discredit what they do defensively. Good defensive team, but, you know, I think for us, it took away one of our paint touch threats. But again, I thought we manufactured some good looks that, you know, we make a few of those or 2 of those. It's, you know, the last 3-4 minutes feels different and puts us in a different position. So even that being said, you know, a couple more free throws, like it's just, you know, we couldn't afford to kind of have some of those empty possessions offensively against a really good defensive team, and certainly being out a couple guys was you know, impactful.
Played a lot of all that man you played, and a lot of the switching the bigs onto Fears in the first half. Was that? Tell me about that strategy and what you were hoping to accomplish.
Yeah, we felt like, you know, if we could create and kind of level the ball, it was important, even if that meant having to switch. Now, certainly when you do that right now, there's rebounding aspect to that. But that's where I thought our guys really battled well in the first half, and we were able to level the ball and not let it get to the rim. He had a couple shots, you know, in the middle of the paint, because he's a good player, and, you know, he adjusted. And I thought they went to some handoff action that allowed them to try to turn the corner. We didn't execute that part as well as we should.
Today, a continuation of the defense you've been liking here the last couple or 3 games, and did you just run out of gas maybe too in the second half?
I don't know. You know, we work really hard, and we prepare to handle adversity well. I thought our team handled it really well. You know, we had some guys play a lot of minutes. Some guys play some minutes they're not used to playing, but there's no excuse. You know, there were some great things we did, and, you know, we put ourselves in position there. We lacked a little bit of execution. That's our focus. It's not fatigue. It's not injury. It's not things like that. Our focus is, you know, the things that we could do a little bit better executing down the stretch, or kind of in that middle to late part of the second half. Like, we got to own that. Also, while acknowledging, I think, the toughness we showed, and that's what we're taking from this, you know, coming out of this game.
And do you feel like it's a continuation playing defense the way you have been, the communication and all the stuff you've been talking about?
Yeah, I think we've shown improvement in that area now for a few games, and that carried over today. I agree with that. I think we executed longer, better, but it just wasn't long enough, today when we were struggling to score there for a stretch. But big time response when they went up 10, thought that was really, really good by our guys. And, we just can't allow ourselves to get in that situation on the road, in this big time environment against a really good team. But kept battling, we stayed with it, and that was a good thing for us. Coach, thanks. All right.